Here were neither of those, and yet a shiver gripped her spine, for here was something she had never expected to see, the mag-ruined seal upon a snag's prison. It shivered her to think what could have been inside it. Something on the floor caught her eye, and she leapt down to it. "Flummox me," she said. The crows swooped down too. 4 pairs of battered canvas shoes were arranged around the table, with their toes pointed inward, as if the fishermen had gathered here to open the bottle they'd pulled up in their nets. Whatever had been inside, it had been there for a long, long time, and it had come out hungry. Calypso whistled low. "Snatched 'em right out of their slippers," he said. "Why'd they let it out?" Pup wanted to know. "Why do they always?" "I reckon they heard the story about the wishes," replied Swig. Magpie sighed. One devil, just one in all of devil history, had granted 3 wishes to the human who freed it. Magpie had caught that trouble-making snag 5 years ago and put him back, but the damage was already done. The Mannies had a mania for it now, and every chance they got they freed some wicked thing back into the world, and they surely didn't get wishes for their trouble. What had these fools gotten? Just their shoes left behind, and no one to spread that story. "Poor dumb Mannies," she muttered. "Curiosity killed the idiot," Calypso replied with a shrug. Magpie frowned at him. Usually pity was the last emotion humans inspired in her, but something about those empty shoes tugged at her heart. She reached toward the frayed fabric of the nearest slipper, forming pictures in her mind as she did so. Glyphs, symbols drawn in one's thoughts, were the basic element of fairy magic. The simplest were mere shapes that every sprout mastered with learning to read. Making light and fire, floating, hiding, protection from trespass, basic healing, and housework. These things were as easy as the alphabet. Real magic came with more complex glyphs, and fusing multiple glyphs together in precise ways, being able to conjure them from memory and vision them, hold them burning in one's mind with perfected concentration. The glyphs Magpie visioned now were from memory and touch, and no sooner had she laid her fingers on the human slipper than a jolt surged up her arm, and she was engulfed in darkness. It was as soon as she jerked her hand away. But the shock drove her to her knees, and she gasped. "Pie!" squawked Calypso. "Pie, darling, what is it?" Her fingers were still tingling from the jolt. She said, "Darkness." "Eh? That's all?" The Mannies' last memory, seared into the last thing they'd touched, was of darkness. This spell for memory touch, learned from the fairies in the high Sash Mountains, had become a valuable snag hunting tool, more than once showing Magpie the face of the devil she was seeking, as glimpsed in its victim's last moments. But these Mannies had seen only darkness, or had there been something else? She hesitated and touched the shoe again. This time she braced for it. She didn't let it knock her to her knees, but she couldn't stop the gasp it forced from her lips. She drew her hand hastily away and said, "Hunger." "Hunger?" "Aye, mad hunger." She shivered, and with one last quick look around, said, "Let's go." And they flew back up on deck, several crows lugging the devil's bottle between them. "Rest a while," she told them. "It's a long sky till landfall, and I don't want to feed any crows to the sea." Calypso stretched his wings and yawned. "Just a cat nap, then. Wake us when it's time to go, Pie." He tucked his head against his breast and closed his eyes. Magpie stretched too and looked around. Her grandfather had conjured his fairy skin and was waiting for her in the midst of a clump of napping crows, looking just like a jolly old codger with whiskers, broad-chested and lively. Elementals like the wind or the djinn could put on skins and enjoy a taste of mortal life, which was how Magpie came to have the west wind for a grandfather. 600 years ago he'd taken one look at a lovely lass named Sparrow, fallen head over heels for her, and gone to craft himself a fairy skin handsome enough to woo her in. Sparrow had fallen in love back, and he'd swept her off to a life in the sky, to travel always, cuddled to his chest as he soared above the world. It was a bold, wild life for a fairy. Most never even left their forests, but she was a bold, wild lass, and so were her daughter and granddaughter after her, and their place in the world was everywhere and nowhere, like gypsies on wing. No home had they but their caravans and campfires, and no family but the one they'd cobbled together of crows, creatures, and kindred souls they met on their endless journey round and round the world. "Oh, Grandpa, it's what you thought," Magpie said, plopping down next to him and resting her glossy head on her shoulder. "Jack smoke," the old fellow cursed, cradling her to his side and absently smoothing down the fox-lick that stood up like a tuft from the top of her windward head. "Another loose devil, skiving plague of meddlesome Mannies, can't leave a bottle well enough alone. Aye, that's 6 in as many months. they keep on like this, the world will be crawling with snags like it was before the Devil Wars. I can't keep up all on my own." "Maybe you shouldn't try, love. Leave 'em free. There are too many Mannies anyway, nay? And what of everyone else? It wasn't Mannies that Scarab Devil killed, but fairies. And what of this one? Got away?" "Aye," she scowled. "And Grandpa, there's something mad strange about this one. Its bottle, it was sealed by the Magruin." "Eh? Impossible," he declared. "That old Scorch never dirtied his hands on devils. You never heard of anything, then, during the wars? Some lost story?" "Nah, and sure I'd remember, no matter it was 25,000 years ago. I remember Bellatrix clear as yesterday. What a sight she was in battle. 'Twas she and the other champions who caught all the snags." "Aye, I always thought so, but what of the seal?" He took it and examined it, frowning. "Jack smoke. It's his all right, ancient and true." He handed it back. "No idea what was in the bottle?" "Nah, none. There's no smell, no drool, no blood, nothing at all." "And what of the fishermen?" "Ate them, I reckon." "Ate them? I thought you said there was no blood." "Nary a drop," Magpie admitted. "Ah, there would be. You ever know a devil to chew with its mouth closed?" "Nah," she said. But she could still feel that hunger tugging at her through the Mannies' left-behind memory. If it didn't eat them, what did it do to them? He shrugged. "Could be they launched a skiff and got away." "Maybe," Magpie murmured skeptically, thinking of the shoes left so suddenly behind. "But I don't think so." "We'll put the word out," the West Wind said. "Split up and ask around in the ports. You'll find its trail soon enough. You always do, love." "I reckon. But this one, it shivers me, Grandpa." Always listen to your shivers. They'll save your life sometime." When the sun touched the sea, Magpie rousted the crows, and the wind shed his fairy skin and became, once again, a force of nature. Carrying the devil's empty bottle with them, they took to the sky and traveled on through twilight and starlight back toward land. And that's the end of chapter 1 of, if you haven't already glimpsed the title from the number of times I've probably shown the cover up on the screen. It is Blackbringer, a Fairies of Dreamdark book by Laini Taylor, and hopefully she won't be mad with me for reading the first chapter on the internet. If she is, I can take it down. Someone should tell her about this so we can get that business sorted out. And I'm also sorry I flubbed up some of the words, Ms. Taylor. Sorry, it happens sometimes. But here it is, Blackbringer. It's a wonderful book, and, oh, sorry, that's my window reflected. I think you should read it. It's this one. I actually like the hardcover cover better, but I don't see, like, a picture of it in here anywhere, which is a shame, but it's not all these blues. It's got, like, tens, and it's really cool, at any rate. But I like this one a lot. This is a fantastic book, at least to me. I hoped you like the first few chapters. I only read you the prelude of the first chapter, so I don't know why I said chapters. Looks like I'm gonna have to cut this in half anyway. Split it right down the middle, maybe. Or maybe not. But at any rate, Blackbringer. It's a book. You should read it while I'm reading Looking for Alaska. I don't have Looking for Alaska now, again, because it's checked out. Right now, I'm rereading, excuse me, I was using it to prop up the camera, so I have to put other things back there, namely Blackbringer and a Beach Boys cassette. Yes. But I'm rereading Bloodhound by Tamara Pierce, a wonderful book. I just reread Terrier, and I probably would have read you the first chapter of that. Well, no, I guess I wouldn't have, because I don't have it anymore. I returned it to the library. If I had it, I probably would have read it. Not that I don't really love Blackbringer, but that is also a wonderful book. Terrier by Tamara Pierce. I don't see a picture of it, but anyways, it's the first book in the Becca Cooper trilogy, and the third book just came out pretty recently. It's called Mastiff. So yeah, it's Terrier, Bloodhound, Mastiff. There's a dog theme, you notice, which makes total sense in the books. It ties in wonderfully, and they are absolutely brilliant. You should read those. Looks like I've got about 5 minutes left if I cut this in half and not in thirds or something. So, you know what, I guess I don't really have much else to say here. Hey there, guys. La la. This is odd. If you want, I suppose you can leave now. I'm not gonna show you my room because it is bad. Very bad, yes. I think that's really all I've got. That's all I've got to contribute here. Well then, I will see you guys, well, depends on whether or not I have internet this weekend, but I will see your videos at least by next Wednesday. I love you guys, and I want you to take care of each other and yourselves and people who matter to you. Love. Spread the love. All everywhere. Everywhere let there be love. This is weird. My parents watch this. Stop it. If you want to know what's going on in my life, just ask me. Alright? Because this is weird. And really, I just read a book today and told you things you already knew. We got our piano, so that's good. It actually came a couple weeks ago when all our stuff came, but it's great, and we've been spending a lot of time together. After being separated for so long, you can understand we definitely were feeling the loss. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, as you know. I'm trying to learn how to play The Show by Lenka, because I like that song, and I thought it would be nice if I also knew how to play it. But a lot of what I'm doing is getting just fed up with trying to learn it and then playing the chords, which is kind of cheating, but it's working. So, yay. It's not so much cheating as taking the easy way, but that's not always such a bad thing in this case. Yeah. Be safe, and that's mostly it. Be safe. Be safe and try to be happy. Callie, if you're still in Pennsylvania, enjoy Pennsylvania, and say hello to Brooke, who was wonderful in your stop motion and very, very patient, I'm sure. Yeah. Liam, say hello to your wonderful sisters, because you live with them and you should greet them in the mornings. Or you can say hello from me, because I like them too. The few times I've met them, they seemed awful nice. So yeah, now I've thoroughly exhausted my stores of stuff to say, and I'm probably going to put on shoes and be off to the library so I can upload this and say hello to you guys. What's today? What time is it? That clock is no help.